Hey Dave,
Yeah.
what have you been listening to lately?
That's funny. I've got a song in my head right now from man, I'm too sentimental, I think, sometimes. Because I always have the most sentimental thing going on in my head. But there's a song by the Moody Blues called Question. I don't know if you've heard it, but one of the parts is in my head. It's just like a cute song about the love that you give out is meant for you or whatever. I don't know. And I'm like, and it was the favorite song of this guy who actually passed away just a few months ago
Hmm.
in Mount Shasta, a friend of mine who played the drums with my friend Anana and I, and he just randomly passed away, and that's the song that's in my head right now. So, good
Well,
question.
sorry about
It's a
your
really good one
friend.
though. What's up? What have you been listening to?
Well, I'm kind of on a yacht rock kick, Dave. So like
What is
Kenny
it?
Loggins, some
Oh, that's good.
Chicago, like, yeah. So maybe the same genre as you a little bit.
Yeah. I was at I was at a thrift store like a week ago, just randomly saw it off the side of the 101 on the Oregon coast here. And we're like, oh, we should stop there and check it out. We should see what's there. And they had all of these classic 90s CDs. That's what I got drawn to. So I ended up walking out with, I don't know why I'm showing you these, but I literally just ripped them. I bought a CD burner or whatever
Wow.
so I could actually get the music digitally. But I got Phil Collins' greatest
Oh
hits.
yeah. Yeah, so good.
So yeah, oh man, Easy Lover. That's on
Yeah.
this one. Andrea Bocelli for some of that, just light listening,
Yeah.
and then Enya, Watermark.
Okay.
It's a great album. And then this is the one that I was talking about. It's a Moody Blues album,
Yep.
and it's got like all their kind of greatest hits, but it's with an orchestra and stuff, so it's like really big and powerful. And yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Anyway, good question, man.
I
Off to a
wonder
good
what
start. What about?
I wonder what our viewers are listening to. So
Yeah,
Dave, just whatever you see in the comments, let us know as
yeah, I
people
love
jump in.
that.
And we've got Maggie from our events team. Hey Maggie.
Hey,
So what's on your playlist right now?
right now I've been listening to some 2016 hits. That's for 10 years out. I've been going back and listening to
10
some
years
of
out.
that. I
Is
know,
that the one that
crazy.
Spotify curates for you? The like,
Yep.
yeah,
They've curated like a playlist of all 2016 songs. Now it's 2026 and it's pretty good. A lot of them, every time they come up, I'm like, oh my gosh, this was 10 years ago. That's shocking.
Yeah.
yeah,
Sophia made
crazy.
it.
You
Woo.
guys,
Hey, you're
hold
live,
on a
by the
second.
way.
Okay, can you hear me though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure
So
can.
glad to just be live. That was very exciting.
This you planned this. She's like, I'm
Oh,
going to make a statement entrance,
yes,
being a little late.
obviously.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well,
You
Fashionably
know,
late.
not intentionally because I wasn't trying to log in at the right time because I had to clear my cache and cookies to be able to access the meeting, and I still had to access from the browser instead of the app. You know.
so
Weird.
just so our viewers know, Sophia, she and Maggie are on the events team. Sophia leads our conferences. Sophia, she recently got married, and your last name changed, and that might be causing the chaos that happened with
It's
you.
possible, yeah. The changing my name has been a whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyone who's ever gotten married before and had to change their name probably knows this. The process is much more difficult than I intended. I actually got married a year ago and I put off changing my name in order to not deal with this. And then I was like, we're a year in, we have 2 children. I should probably become a Brucker. And so
Yeah.
I went through the process and it is, yeah, we're a month in and I still haven't figured out where I need to change it everywhere.
I loved your last name, your maiden name, but
Yeah.
Brucker is easier for me to handle.
Yeah, Greskowitz is a tough one.
Yes, yes. Well,
So,
Sophia, we were just going around talking about what we're listening to lately, like playlists. So Dave's got a little Moody Blues happening and a variety of like 90s type stuff. Like he's got CDs. That's where he's
yes.
getting
Yeah,
that
I
stuff.
was I was shown the CDs that I picked up at a thrift store the other day. So I was like, that's a good question. A very appropriate question,
Old
Alex.
school.
Yeah, Maggie's been in her 2016 playlist because that was 10 years ago. Crazy. What's on your playlist, Sophia?
Oh, I'm like a pop girl. I like pop music. Harry Styles is about to release a new album, so I have been listening to his old music, preparing myself for that one.
Okay,
Nice.
awesome.
He's
So
good.
Very
He-
excited for that release.
I very much love. I've been a Harry Styles fan since the One Direction days, going way back to high school too.
Nice.
Are you
So
guys, when you listen to a song, like when you grab onto it, do you loop it over and over and over and over? Like I do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to mix it in. I keep it in a like not on repeat the exact same song, but like I might listen to 3 other songs and then go back to the one.
Okay.
I have to listen to it on repeat until I'm sick of it,
Yeah.
which takes a while.
So if you're just joining us now, Dave and I have Sophia and Maggie from our events team with us today. They're helping us out, and we're obviously talking about what tunes we've been listening to. Let us know in the comments. Dave's going to check it out. Let us know what, even if it's out there, we want to hear what kind of music you've been listening to. Now, Sophia and Maggie have had a special project lately, taking over the AAPC podcast feed and YouTube channel a little bit, just sharing their experiences. We have this conference countdown series. Sophia, would you kind of fill us in about what that's about, what you're hoping to share with our members?
Yeah, so our hope is to create this podcast as a way to kind of first off count down to HealthCon 26 in Dallas. We're super excited to be there in May, and we want to kind of give people like information about what to expect at that conference, the value of what conferences bring to you, what the education's going to look like, and the kind of behind the scenes work that goes into building a conference of this size. HealthCon is not a small event by any means. There's a lot of moving pieces to put it together. And we kind of want to give our member base kind of an insight on like what it is and what the value of coming to a conference is. So we're hoping that people will kind of tune in and learn more about what they can gain from attending a conference.
Okay. Okay. Now, where are you guys at in the stages of preparation for Dallas? Because we're getting close. Is it are you like just in the complete thick of it right now, or does that happen? Does it get crazier as we get closer?
It gets crazier, but we're like not quite underwater yet, but like treading above.
Yeah,
And the plans. Yeah, we're still, we've gotten our entertainment like secured. We've gotten our like all of our AV equipment scheduled. We're working through all of the details of like setups in all of the meeting rooms. We have to decide how many seats can fit per cap. Like, we want to make it comfortable, but you
yeah,
max out the room so the most people can get in and there isn't a wait on the most popular sessions, because rooms do fill up and that is a thing that we have to, keep. You can't build extra walls to fit more people into a meeting room. So we have to kind of think about the capacity and max it out the best we can without it feeling like you're stuffed in there like a sardine.
yeah.
So we do our best to kind of work with the hotel and build diagrams of each meeting space and decide how many seats fit comfortably.
Okay.
Yeah. Alex, it's interesting. This event will be almost a year and a half in the making. I think Sophia and I visited the property last February, so almost a year ago, and started making plans then. So by the time we get there in May, it will have been over a year of preparation and planning and logistics. So we're very
Yeah.
excited for it.
That's awesome. I've noticed on LinkedIn tons of speakers posting their little images saying I'm speaking at HealthCon. So it's fun to see that and all of the awesome, talented educators that we have that will be sharing sessions. And we've started sharing and connecting with our keynote, Cameron Atlas. And from what I've seen of his stuff, I've snooped around his social world a little bit. He's got like the music vibe, like he's got great energy, and I know we had a session like that last year that was a huge hit, and he kind of has that same feel. Is that correct, would you say?
In a different tone, yes. Rich Bracken last year, and when we were in Orlando in 2025, he was a phenomenal speaker. If you missed that session in 25, if you ever get the chance to see him speak, he lit up that whole room and set the tone for positive energy throughout the rest of that event, which is awesome. We want to replicate that, but with new energy, new ideas, new concepts. We found Cameron, Maggie actually found him doing research, and we think that his vibe is similar, but it's live music, not so much DJ. He's actually will have a piano on stage, and he's going to play on stage, and but with that energy of like motivational, like let's get excited for not only this event, but how you can better your career by like attacking change in a way that is encouraging. So I'm really excited about his session. So
Cool.
Dave.
Motivational with live music. Oh,
Yes.
love it. Cool.
Yeah.
I love
Like
that people have the creativity to come up with like how you can incorporate something so engaging like music in a way that like really motivates people for change. And I think Cameron's going to do a great job of that.
Cool.
Dave like does a ton with conferences and our events as well. Dave, like, where are you in your planning stages with Dallas?
Well, with Dallas, we're just like Sophia said, they're still finding out where the capacities of the rooms. So they're gonna kind of arrange what rooms need what links. I mean, at this point, it's kind of like we have it sort of like a well-oiled machine, but it's just timing of certain things have to take place before other things can happen. So um, when one person's in a holding pattern, another person's doing something, and then yeah, so for me, I guess the next thing would probably just be like scheduling the general sessions and getting those just ready to go, and then making sure that all of our equipment is ready to go because we have 10 breakout rooms that happen all at once simultaneously during HealthCon. So it's a lot of gear that we got to make sure it's working right. And so I'm probably gonna try to plan a little trip out there to personally go through the gear myself instead of having our awesome shout out to Hector out there who's been so great to help while I've been on the road. Hector's helped put together our kits and make sure everything's there, and then helping to load it on the truck too. And he's helped me out a lot. So
I think Dave probably gets in like 10 miles of walking a day at conference, running between all the breakout rooms. I mean, as you can see, just
the
with
arches
this,
in my
we
feet.
have, yeah.
That
those
first
who don't
session,
to those who don't know, Dave is the reason that we can host a hybrid event.
Oh,
He organized and made these plans to make hosting hybrid conferences work for AAPC. It was built out of thin air, to be honest. In 2021 in Dallas, the last time we were there was the first time we ever did that, and Dave is the reason we've made it continue because he's made it so easy for us to do it.
oh, thanks, Sophia.
Shout out to Dave.
Yeah, thanks. This is awesome. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. It was a big project. I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to pull it off, and we had other people on the staff that were concerned, and we're like, let's just try and do it all virtual. Let's use, I think, Adobe Connect, and it was not a great platform, but it worked, and we kind of made a model of like, hey, we can do this with a little bit of an investment and make it happen. So excited to be back there. It's kind of like full circle again.
I know.
But
It was
hopefully
my
with much
first
better stuff.
conference planning for AAPC, and I feel like Dave made me feel like, oh my gosh, we can actually do this.
Cool.
It was a trip for all of us, that's for sure.
well, guys, I wanted to bring in Sarah and Paul, who are just amazing APC members. They both have such great stories. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Paul.
Hi, how are y'all?
Great. How are you guys?
Very
Doing
well.
fantastic.
Awesome. Paul, I know you're in California, so where the weather is probably nice. It always seems to be nice out there.
I wish it was what's my background, but it's actually cold, foggy right now. I feel like I'm in the alleyways of London. So
Nice.
Well, Sarah, where are you located?
I'm in Katy, Houston, Texas.
Okay, and what's it? Because you guys have had a cold front come through Texas. I don't know if you got that in Houston.
We got the cold, but none of the snow or ice that some of my nearby neighbors got.
Okay. All right. So when you say cold, what like Fahrenheit? What are you getting down to
It got down
in
to 23 degrees overnight, a couple nights.
23?
Nearly back up to 60 now, but
Okay.
cold nights.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a big difference
Same.
for you guys out there. So, well, guys, before we get into your stories a little bit, we're gonna just do a little poll, just have a little bit of fun and ask you guys questions and ask our viewers a few questions. Sophia, I'm gonna let you kind of lead this out and just share the questions that you have. I don't know, we just kind of want to survey and just feel out what's going on in the industry and see what you guys think about a few big topics that are happening in our space.
Yeah, so the concept came from I really wanted to showcase the education that we have coming at HealthCon. We have some phenomenal sessions our education committee picked out, and that have some really, really intensive takeaways that you're going to be able to actually come back from and answer questions that you're dealing with in your everyday work. And I kind of wanted to showcase that by asking what are some issues that you're dealing with in your workplace, and then I want to be able to suggest some sessions that might be able to help you with your and give you the solutions that you're really looking for. So um just as like an example is how is everybody feeling about AI in the role of healthcare, for coding and billing, and what is that going to look like as it affects your job and the industry as it moves forward? We have some awesome sessions dedicated to talking about AI and how it affects us, and so that's my first question is how does everyone feeling about AI's role in the healthcare encoding and billing? And Paul and Donna, I don't know if you guys have insights on how you feel working with AI.
We actually had a chapter meeting in January addressing this, because there is still a lot of turmoil in this industry about AI and across the world, actually, in different cultures and everything else, as to exactly how AI can be used and not create and stoke the fires of it. Oh, they're taking my job, kind of thing. Um, and really, um, I prefer to be like a calming influence on things. Um, AI is here. There's no way we can avoid it. We can learn from it, absolutely. Um, AI is only as good as the input that's coming into it, and it doesn't have the actual what we are trained as certified coders. It doesn't have the actual nuance that we bring to our jobs. So
Absolutely.
my viewpoint is AI is not taking my job as a risk adjustment coder. It will make me a better coder in the long run, and I welcome that challenge.
Yep. So we've got two sessions at HealthCon coming in that talk directly to your point that I think that could benefit anybody working in this community. And we've got the How Do I Coexist with AI, which is designed to help coders understand how AI fits into workplace flows. And it's not going to replace human expertise, but how do I work alongside of it? The second one is Advanced ENT Coding Thriving in the Age of AI, which shows real world coding examples and how to stay compliant while leveraging AI tools. So, those are just two sessions that I wanted to throw out that talk directly to this issue that we hear about all the time, and is going to help people feel comfortable working alongside of AI.
Real quick, Sarah,
HealthCon.
Sarah, do you have any thoughts about AI and it in the workplace?
Not particularly. It's not something that I have really delved into too much. I do know people have test coded some things through AI and gotten mixed results. So I don't feel too much that it is coming for the coders' jobs. But I do know that it is a tool that is. There's a lot of back and forth as to how to implement it in the coding and medical billing world. I unfortunately do not have an answer for that.
Dave, do you see anything in the comments?
No, nothing in the comments outside of saying hello. Talia Fortier says, Sarah, hi friend, just so you can see that. But I was gonna say to Sophia, it sounds like we've got, whether you're nervous about AI or you're excited about the AI implementations and tools, sounds like there's different sessions that will kind of address both of those things, right?
Right.
So regardless of how you feel about it, we have sessions for you, whether you're excited or nervous.
Exactly.
Awesome. Sophia, what's our next poll question?
Where do you see the most billing related confusion or risk right now? Is it related to ASC billing rules? Feel unclear? Is it we struggle between physician and facility billing? Denials are increasing. We've got sessions that are going to talk directly to all of those issues. A couple of those sessions is billing for ACSs, breakdowns for ACS billing rules, and common pitfalls billers are facing is going to address those issues. We also have denials and regulatory stress issues. A session speaking directly to that is to tie compliance focused and specialty billing sessions from the list. So we've got denial defense sessions and other ones that talk directly to that. If there's anybody who's out there that's like, I'm having this issue that I'm looking for solutions on, I'd love to hear from you and let us tell you what sessions on the schedule are coming so that we might be able to suggest some awesome sessions for you that are really going to help.
Hey, Paul, what do you think about that with where do you see most billing related confusion or risk right now? Do you have any thoughts about that question?
Personally, I've been doing a lot of research into the current CMS and what they're out there doing, and they're trying multiple different kinds of payment methods. So I've been studying a lot on the new access model. I'm not an expert in it by any means, but it's opening the door, I think, to more confusion to people who've been in the field for a while, because we're used to, okay, this is the Medicare Advantage risk model, and now this is good. This Access is kind of using the same kind of data, but in a different way. And so the confusion is going to be very, very real there, because it's like and again, we have to go by which project we're working on, but what project it is and what the guidelines of that project are and how those projects guidelines tie into the guidelines of the ICD-10. So I think there's just going to be a lot of increased, and I'm like I said, I like to be a calming hand in the waters, but there's just, I think, going to be a little bit of increased anxiety at this point until these things kind of shake out and kind of come forward as to what people are going to stick with, because just they're trying things out doesn't mean they're going to stay with it.
Awesome. Sarah, thoughts on your end?
So I am in radiation oncology, and in 2026, they deleted a bunch of radiation treatment codes and repurposed and restructured how they are the metrics for radiation treatments. So instead of a single treatment, it's now based off of the complexity of an entire course. And so that has been a bit of a struggle figuring out the metrics, getting the billers and everybody with documentation on board.
Awesome.
So as codes change, and then sounds like Paul was saying, as regulations and guidelines also change, or not sure what ones they're actually going to stick with and use.
Sure.
So cool. It sounds like we've got some sessions that hit those too, right?
We do. I have a couple of sessions I want to like talking directly to what you said, Paul, that are going to address those like billing errors. And we've got session 1G that's going to be talking about denied again, understanding medical billing denials. We've got session 5A to stop denials before they start, and transitioning denial management into denial prevention. So a couple of sessions that are going to help give some people you can talk to and give you some solutions. So there's a lot of value within the content that you're going to achieve at HealthCon that I think is beneficial for anybody in this community.
Sophia, can I dovetail real quickly onto a topic that I think I personally would love to see AAPC address. When I go back to the meeting we had in January, as we were talking about AI and everything else, the one question that comes up, and it raises the thermostat in that room, went from, very calm and cool to extremely hot really quickly, is queries and professional queries. And especially in denials and things like that, when people are having to relook at the storyline that they're telling through their coding. When is a query professionally needed? When is it, overstating a coder's job and it never is overstating a coder's job to query. That is part of our contract when we are certified, that if the story is unclear, we seek that clarification. But I even very advanced coders who have been coding for a long time, they still have that little bit of that little unease in the pit of their stomach when somebody brings up the term of professional querying. And I think that dovetails so nicely into the whole billing uncomfortable situations.
Yeah, we actually have 2 sessions I think that are gonna help people with that as well, Paul, and maybe this is great for you if you're gonna attend HealthCon, is the art of the compliant query and how to write clear, compliant, and effective provider queries. And then a second one calling querying with confidence, improving documentation through communication. I think those would be really great sessions that if people are really struggling with that area, these topics are going to help them and have some connections on site. If you meet the people in this room, the presenters, being able to approach them and talk in depth about these issues, I think is really going to give people more confidence in that area of their work.
Great.
Sophia, this might be, you might hate me for suggesting this, but man, our members, if they're considering attending HealthCon, they should ping you on LinkedIn and say, hey, these are the issues that we are kind of facing at HealthCon or at our office. Like, do you see any sessions that kind of resonate with that topic? And that might be their ticket to having their facility or their manager let them attend HealthCon.
Absolutely. If anybody wants to message me on LinkedIn and ask for suggestions on what sessions they think are going to be most effective for them, I'd be happy to help with that. And if you want me to help you suggest to your manager or boss to help sponsor you to attend HealthCon because you know that you're going to get this help that's going to bring ROI back to your business, I'm happy to help. I know our sales team is also great at that. They have great tools to read through the sessions and kind of talk through what the value of our content is to get people the information they need to prove that this is valuable for me as an individual, but for my company as well, so that I can be a better at my job that's going to bring us in more money and keep money in our hands within our companies.
Awesome. Thank you, Sophia. I hope you are overwhelmed with requests in your mailbox.
Luxury.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I'll do my best. I am an event planner. I will preface it with that.
Yeah.
Well, you
Hopefully you
can
don't
pass
get the
them on to
questions that are
Maggie,
like,
too.
solve my problem,
I don't
Sophia.
have true answers, but I might be able to put you in the right place to get you the answers that you need.
Hey, Dave, what's happening in the comments? Anybody, anything in there?
Well, Kimberly Jolivet Williams says that she's honored to serve as a 2026 Dallas HealthCon presenter this year. So
Awesome.
Kimberly Jolivet Williams is going to be there. Hey, Kimberly, let us know what your session title is. I'm sure I could look it up, but let everybody know in the chat.
I've never met her in person.
For them to attend your session.
And why
what are
it's
they going to
important.
gain from your session?
Yeah. I'm so excited to meet Kimberly in person. She, like, her energy, like, on social media is infectious. She's out there just sharing the great vibes. I don't know, Sarah, if you've seen her out there, but she's awesome. Okay, guys, we have 30 minutes left, and here's what I hope to do. We're just going to do some quick backgrounds on Sarah and Paul, and then I think that as you guys share your stories, we're going to naturally weave into the discussion that we hope to have. So, Sarah, let's start with you. And we first met at HealthCon, and your story was just so amazing, and you've come so far. So please give us a little background on yourself.
Oh, thank you. Well, I started my AAPC journey in the beginning of 2022. When I graduated, got certified, I quickly got hired at a company that I just feel so fortunate at. I coded for a couple different clinics, a couple different specialties before transitioning into management. And I'm currently managing 3 radiation oncology clinics, 2 in Florida and 1 in Montana.
Sarah, I have to say, like, during our broadcast, or I can't remember where, but I remember your boss jumping into the comments when I was interviewing you somewhere, or when we're having a discussion. You took the Emerging Leaders course through APC, right? Did
No.
you do that? No? Okay. For some reason I thought that you had.
No.
But we tell us a little bit about like HealthCon. Like, what led you to HealthCon? You were already a coder,
Mm-hmm.
and did your employer send you there, or was this on your own will?
They did. First of all, I'm excited to be with AAPC. Love this career, love this. Everything about the medical billing world, I'm very passionate about. So I was keeping on track of all of the email updates from AAPC, and I saw HealthCon. It was on my radar personally. So so new, I reached out to my company. I said, hey, is this something that we do? And they told me, yes, here are the metrics that you need to meet to qualify to go. And as soon as I was able to go, I put that bug in their ear.
Awesome.
And Sarah,
Yeah, go ahead,
sorry
Dave.
to jump in. I'm actually remembering now, you were in Vegas, right? At HealthCon in Vegas, and you helped me. I pulled you out of the crowd to help me film.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We had to film, we did our Codify event. It was like a murder mystery thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, we were, I guess, short on staff. I needed somebody just to hold the camera or just, while I ran and did something else. And so Sarah jumped in. I'm like, hey, you look like you might be able to help me. And sure enough, she was able to take it and run with it. And shoot, we should hire you just for that
Yeah.
one. But yeah,
What was it?
that just dawned on me. So thanks for that.
You're welcome.
What was that experience like when you go to HealthCon? Never been there before. What was that like?
It was a lot. I think that the coding world does attract a lot of introverts, and very crowded, very in person, and oh gosh, walking in was very overwhelming because it was a big crowd, but everyone is so friendly and on the same page. And it is just such a wonderful community mindset. Everyone is obviously excited to be there, excited to learn. And so even though it is a lot of people and very overwhelming right in your face initially, it's a very comfortable environment once you get in the flow. That was my impression.
Okay. We have more questions for you, Sarah. We're going to jump over to Paul. Paul, who, again, we met at HealthCon. Your story is a little different because you had no coding experience. You were CPC-A when you first attended HealthCon. And geez, was it Vegas as well?
Was.
Okay.
So, like Sarah, I started my journey pretty much around the beginning of 2022. And took my exam in August of 2023 and passed, and immediately jumped on board, and because elections were coming up, and became the treasurer for the chapter that I belong to. And of course, everybody was talking about HealthCon and everything else. I had no industry background. I had no contacts in the industry, and went to Vegas without knowing anybody, except there was one other person from my chapter that came for the breakfast, the thank you breakfast for the chapter officers. And she did not stay for the conference, but she stayed for the breakfast. And then I made it a point, because as Sarah said, you walk in and it's very overwhelming, number one. Lots of people, lots and lots and lots of people. I think there were 2,000, 2,500. I think you told me. I can't remember the exact number, but it's so immersive and so incredible. But I made it a point at that HealthCon that I was going to meet 10 people a day, and tell them my story. And then I saw you on the stage, and you're like, well, if you've got an interesting story, tell me your story. So my story is I have no medical background. I'm an artist. I'm a salesperson. Done all these other things. And I've always been drawn to the healthcare industry, but I just never found the way that really lit my fire until I found coding. And so yes, walking into HealthCon, it's just an amazing experience. But I did meet a lot of people, and I found out about the mentee position, being a mentee and finding a mentor. And Jessica Dobbs is a wonderful person, and I have kudos and only kudos to speak about her. She became my mentor that weekend. And so yes, it's overwhelming, but it is such a great thing. And to echo Sarah's point, everybody is so friendly. And it's the first industry that I've really been in where people are like, you're just starting this? Oh my God, that's so great. Here, you need to talk to these people. And they start talking and telling their stories. And it's just a really wonderful shared event.
Paul, we could talk for an hour or more just about that experience as a recently past credential holder experiencing HealthCon. But so you're attending these sessions as someone who hadn't worked in the field. What was that like to sit there, consume all this information? Was it helpful? Was it?
I thought that it was, the preparation to taking the exam and everything was a little bit deep in the water. This was like going deep into the ocean. I mean, over your head is, but the interesting thing is the notes that I took and things that I reference back to even now, 3 years later, about that experience and everything else. So it may seem like it's going over your head, but somewhere it's lodging itself in there. So, and being able to pull it back out and know that, hey, I got this as a result of me going to HealthCon. I got this information.
Dave, do you have any questions or thoughts for Sarah and Paul?
Yeah, well, my first question was, so you mentioned being able to pull that information from the Las Vegas conference. Have you been since? Have you gone to another conference since?
I went to Orlando.
Orlando, cool. Nice.
So
you're still, even with conferences in between, you're still pulling stuff from previous conferences that were maybe once over your head, but are kind of still there. That's kind of the thought process that I have.
Absolutely.
Cool. That's great. So Sarah, that was your first conference too, right? So, and then after that, did you go on to and do any other conferences or any boutique events or?
No, I've pretty much been just focused at the office, but I am attending Dallas.
Cool. So you'll be in Dallas.
Right.
In Dallas. And Paul, are you going to be able to make it to Dallas as well, or?
So I just started a new job in January, and I'm the sole person doing what they hired me to do. So I don't believe I will be able to attend in May, since they pushed it out. My probationary period's over in April, so I've got like that 1 month. But I'm definitely looking at the regional one on the West Coast.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, then my other question just for the two of you is how involved are you involved in your local chapters at all or any involvement there? Is
I'm
there
the
any
president. I was
president.
treasurer for 2 years and now I'm president.
Hey, I must have
I'm
missed
the
that.
first person that will stand up and say, thank you, AAPC, because you changed my life. And this accreditation has done so many wonderful things for me that I am very happy to give back and very happy to be involved in my chapter.
And Paul and I talk quite frequently on the local chapter side, so he is very involved.
I love that for Paul.
So
like I constantly tell new credential holders who are searching for that first job, you be involved with your local chapter. Like even if they have no officer positions open at the time, like find out how you can be involved. And Paul, you took that to another level by being a chapter officer.
So volunteer. Having been treasurer and everything else, we are looking for people just to step up. And yes, we want all the help. There's so many different things that can be done to assist the chapter. I'm looking for somebody right now to run our Facebook group, to start our Facebook chapter group and take over that and run that, because I don't have that opportunity to do it here. So, I'm looking at, creating not another role that I can say, but, actively looking for volunteers to help me, do that have, just a couple hours a week that they could run the Facebook group kind of thing. There's always something that people need to do. I mean, there's planning the events, planning the fundraisers, looking for speakers if you're good talking to people and you want to set up an event with your chapter, finding somebody that's got the right topics. I question my chapter often as to, what kind of topics do you want to listen to? And AI was the first one that came up. That was why our meeting. We're going to have one here in February about guidelines on the ICD-10 guidelines. Then in March, I've got this huge, I can't remember what I'm calling it. I think it's called the Coding Commission or something. And I've got 4 incredible speakers from AAPC that are coming in and talking and it's just building the excitement and I'm an infectious person. I really am. My energy is usually off the charts, and I lots of people are either put off by it or they're very intrigued by my energy. So,
Well, Paul, I know you mentioned earlier, but you participated in the local chapter officer appreciation breakfast in Vegas, I believe you said. And so that's something that we like to put on every year as part of our health cons for anyone who hasn't been an officer. But I just want to say
I
thank you
talk
for
about my
that.
energy. The energy
Yeah.
in that breakfast is so wonderful, and ideas are just bouncing across that room. And it's a wonderful gift that AAPC does with that breakfast. And I've been to 2 of them now, and I thank you. They're wonderful.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun for us. And I know it's helpful to get all the officers together in that space and be able to talk amongst each other and see what other chapters are doing.
So,
I just want to add a little comment about this is to me what conferences do is that it reignites your place in a community and it kind of puts you in front of 1,500, 2,000 other people who do what you do and understand what you do. And you feel that sense of community that I think just really reignites, like that infectious energy stays with people for years to come after and then gets you excited about going back to do the work that you do, that other people are enjoying it the same way I do. It just it reinvigorates that fire. I think that's the biggest value that conferences bring, not only just, I mean, obviously the content, the education, but like the community that you become a part of when you get to meet other people who are in the throes of it like you.
Sarah, I have a question for you. You talked about the metrics your employer required for them to send you to HealthCon, and I don't want you to divulge any company secrets or anything, but was there a specific goal that you had in mind, or that they expected, or was it you fulfilled those before you left and you went just saying, let's see what happens, let's see what I learned?
So they did ask that I attend a couple different sessions. I reviewed some of the options that I was considering and said, do you have any that you particularly would like me to go to? But it was more about seniority and who has attended in the past and that sort of thing. It's a very fair process in my personal opinion, not writing the policy.
Yeah. So there were a few sessions that you went in there knowing this could benefit our facility.
Mm-hmm.
What other thoughts did you have? Like, what other sessions jumped out at you as you were going through the conference schedule and picking your sessions?
There was one that was focused on health equity and also one that was focused on patient debt and how both of them play such a big part in the billing world. I really appreciated the meeting of all the data and we're very frequently in a remote position or in an office where we're not actually dealing with patients and just realizing that at the heart of all of these codes and all of this these guidelines there is a person there still. I really liked that approach, and I appreciated it, and I'm grateful that the AAPC included it.
Awesome. Awesome. Was there a session or conversation or moment at HealthCon that has like really stuck with you
Oh
from
God,
that time you went?
so many. I had so many wonderful one-on-one conversations with different attendees where, we shared our stories, we cried. There were sessions that I took and I implemented what I learned there, and I have passed that on to my team members, even little things in appeal letters. And I've also really been working on finding ways to incorporate health equity and just that sort of slant into billing. It's an ongoing project, but it's something that I just really care about a lot.
Yes, yes. Thank you. And I remember that when we spoke, that was in your mind a lot then. That's very important to you.
Yes.
And I hope that we can continue that trend of bringing those topics to HealthCon. Paul, how about you? Like, how does a someone who's never worked in the industry, when you were when you were a CPC-A without any work experience, how do you choose your sessions?
Really, I chose them by what I was interested in. I'm very strong with anatomy physiology, so I wanted to take the anatomy 4-hour thing. What I can't remember the anatomy challenge or whatever it's called, and it was
Anatomy
all.
Expo. Yeah.
There you go. And it had already been filled up. So then it's like, well, what else? And there's so much available. I mean, there's interest in everything else that you can find. And if you've got even the slightest interest in something, like I mentioned, Jessica Dobbs, gastro is her jam. I mean, and her sessions are always great. Gosh, I mean, there's so many sessions, but it's not just the sessions, it's the way AAPC weaves the whole event. There's the fun aspects, like last year, I think it was with the DJ that did all not motivational even. It's like, what calms your spirit, what excites you kind of music and things like that. And he was great. And the keynote speakers and Ray is wonderful. And again, it's just the whole experience. If I could sit down in front of everybody who just passed their exam and they are CPC-A and they are looking for work and they have absolutely no idea what they've gotten themselves into, find the money, go to conference, jump off the diving board, plug your nose and go into the deep end and learn to swim very quickly. It is the best experience you could ever have for the beginning of your career.
Paul, we talked about, oh, sorry, Dave, you have a question?
No, I was just going to say that's a great plug. And, don't be surprised if Sophia reaches out or doesn't reach out to you to be like, hey, Paul, we need to use your promo energy to pitch
Again,
this. Or our Vilt
I am
classes to
grateful
have you
and
come on
always
at the
eager
end
to
of a
help.
Vilt class and be like, hey, next step for you is conference. Get involved, get integrated. Yeah, we love that. Love your energy, both of you.
Paul, so you shared your mentality of how you picked your sessions before having attended HealthCon. What would you tell a recent graduate of an AAPC certification who hasn't worked in the field? What would you recommend to them on how to approach picking sessions?
Stretch your knowledge a little. I'm in a constant growth mode. I always want to learn something new. Meet new people, have a new experience or something along those lines. And so stretch your comfort zone just a little bit, if there's something and there's so much that you can choose from. I mean, literally the topics range from almost A to Z. It's almost like the Amazon shopping of coding knowledge. It's just brilliant the way it's laid out. And you look through the whole list, look through the list once, and then, kind of like your Christmas wish list, oh, I'd want to take these. and then go back to it in a couple days and say, oh, if I've been, thinking about those things, or I actually went into Chat GPT or something else and I asked them questions and it sparked my interest even further. But now I want to learn more about this. If you want to know how to use AI to help you choose your courses in HealthCon, because it will give you a very good idea as to what your personality is, what you might be geared for. And I was talking to one of my physicians yesterday actually, and we got into this conversation, and he's like, it's very strange how people end up in the position that they've been leading to all their lives. And the position I hold right now is I'm a risk adjustment coder, but I'm also an educator. So I'm going into offices, I'm educating people on their practices, on their coding and everything else, and also instructing them on how to close their HCC gaps and why that's so important. And as an educator role with my energy, it's a natural fit. And so I'm having a blast with this. And again, it's all thanks to the AAPC, because through passing my exams, through taking my courses, it's built my confidence. And, when I mentioned the whole thing about queries, the first job I had was a billing person, and we were querying doctors left and right, really kind of sillily, in my opinion. But they would rather have had the query there and, in my opinion, sometimes waste the doctor's time. But, it's, again, it's just learning. So to new people, to people who've been coding for 30 years. And when I walked into the HealthCon the first time, and I sat down at a table, and they're like, we've been coding for 30 years. And it's like, oh my God, that's fantastic that you had a passion for this for 30 years. I said, that's great. That's the kind of energy I want. I want a job that I've worked at for 30 years and I'm still excited about.
I love it. Sophia, do you have any questions, comments for these two?
I was going to say, Paul, it sounds like with your energy, you might need to apply to speak at one of our conferences in the future.
I'm always eager to help. So.
Get your session topic in and get an application in with because I think people could learn a lot from your energy.
So
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Sorry, Paul.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask what's next for each of you. What's next career-wise, or even like hobbies? I know, Paul, you said you're into art and some of these other things, and Sarah, if you want to chime in and give us kind of a what's next for you. And
Oh gosh, Paul, do you want to start us off?
Sure, I'll start us off. Like I said, I like to learn something new every day. So on top of having a new job, just passing my CRC in October, which allowed me the opportunity to have this new job with Alteus. I've been working on for years. Alex and I have talked about some of my paintings and everything, and I'm actually working strongly on getting a gallery event together that will be an event of my poetry and my paintings and paralleling the two together. A lot of that is part of my journey of my sobriety. I've been sober for 4.5 years. And so all of that's going, and the more I'm sober, the more energy I have for other things. And I really want to take my chapter. We're in the middle right now of trying to change the name from the Martinez chapter to the Greater East Bay chapter, just because our chapter is so expansive, and I want to include everybody in that. And by limiting it to one little town and one little area and one little county is just so limiting to us. But so we've got that going on, and then, like I mentioned, the education expo, or whatever I'm going to call it finally at the end, the coding commission, with Matt Oakes and Danielle Bagnell and Amy Clay and Jessica Dobbs, all 4 of them speaking. It's going to be a great event. And so what's next? I'm not sure. I'm going to excel at my job. I know that for a fact. And all these other things will fall into place.
nice, love it. What about you, Sarah?
Well, Paul, first, thank you so much for sharing about your sobriety. Thank you, and congratulations. That's a huge milestone, and I appreciate you sharing that. For me, I am just so happy with where I'm at, and I'm just my career trajectory within my company. I do want to, down the line, get more involved in my local chapter. The last time I looked, it was an hour drive. So I am looking at finding something a little more close or doing those steps myself, but it is a ways down before I can put that on my plate personally. Very much looking forward to HealthCon. From Las Vegas, just as a little side note, I did have who I met there attend my wedding the next year. So just
Cool.
it's
Wow, that's amazing.
yeah, flew from Florida. It was a wonderful time. So I'm excited for those connections and just continuing the career and also continuing my growth within AAPC.
Awesome. Love it.
I love Sarah's story. If you watch it, Dave, I sent you those links to both of their stories.
Yeah, you want
for
me
you
to throw
drop
those in the
in.
chat?
That'd be great. Sarah, if you watch her story, Sarah, I remember you talking about. I mean, you really didn't have a career prior to this
No.
this healthcare industry job, and it was you're just trying to find traction and hope,
Mhm.
and it's just amazing to see you flourish.
Thank you.
And I love it just so much. I mean, you're an inspiration to so many, and I know this isn't just about you; it's about your family, your kids, and creating something better for them. And that I think you will give hope to so many people.
I joined AAPC desperate for survival, and I have just found so much fulfillment and thriving within the company I'm at and AAPC together. It's been so fortunate for me.
I think Sarah's the only interview that I've had where I'm crying and I have to, just kind of keep it together because her story is so heavy and just so inspiring. Reminds me a lot of my mom's story. I think I may have mentioned that. Just a single mom trying to make it happen. So props to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex.
Well, guys, we are at the end of our hour. I knew this would go by quick. And it's been so fun to have Paul and Sarah on. If you're watching on Facebook, you can find full stories or full links to their full stories, their interviews on our YouTube channel. So thank you to, and Sarah, we each, Sophia, Maggie, Dave, and of course me, we can't wait to say hi to you in person again in a few months.
I'm excited for it as well.
And then Paul, keep us posted. Paul is one of the members that he always just drops a text. I'm at a kid's basketball game or something. He's like, "Hey, Alex, check out my new painting."
That's wonderful.
And I think we all have someone like that in the industry, and that's what makes it so amazing. Is just these true friendships. So, Paul, all the best to you as you continue down the road of this new job.
Thank you.
Sophia and Maggie, hey, you've got we are excited to hear your voices as we approach conference and about your experience with all this planning. And I'm curious as we wrap up, Sophia and Maggie, what event are you looking most forward to? Because we've had all these special, unique parties and things. We went to Disneyland. We've line danced. Dave's line danced with the members at
Karaoke.
all kinds of stuff. So, Sophia, what you got cooking in Dallas?
Well, we will be there over Cinco de Mayo. We'll be there on the 5th of May. So we've got a fiesta planned that we're really excited about.
Everyone get your dancing shoes ready again.
Salsa dancing shoes.
Oh boy.
So we're really excited about that one.
Cool.
Okay. Well, thanks everybody for watching. We will see you in 2 weeks and have a great I guess we're midweek, but hope you have a great rest of your week. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, everyone.
Bye.